Reggie Smith, also known as 101R Smith. Today I'm representing Gunpla Network to bring you guys the review of the Narrative Gundam C-Packs. Checking out the box, you're going to see the C-Packs Narrative Gundam in all of its Psycho Frame glory. You're going to see it based on its third act of the Narrative Gundam movie, NT, and it just pops. Like the animation style of how they drew out the Gunpla, it just pops with its Psycho Frame. It's really is gonna get your attention. If you're just a casual viewer looking at a store, that Narrative Gundam is gonna pop out of your eye no matter what. It demands your attention. The build process is pretty straightforward. I would say it's on par with the Moon Gundam in terms of complexity. It has an inner frame, but it's also not too surprising because the Narrative Gundam is referred to as the Scarecrow. So it's really mainly an inner frame. So you're going to expect a good chunk of that to be inner frame. The Psycho Frame parts are completely brand newly molded just for this kit, so you can't pop in an old unicorn and expect it to work. There are some leftover parts from the A-Packs, but due to the new reconfiguration of the mold in order for the Psycho Frame, unfortunately, it's not going to work. So if you wanted to be able to cheat your way into having both an A and a C-Packs, Bandai says no. So that's how it's going to work from there. The overall representation of the Narrative C-Packs is marvelous. I have absolutely no complaints about this. This is exactly how I would expect it to appear in 1/44 scale, and it just looks immaculate. There are only a very handful of stickers that are necessary for this kit. The eyes, and the head camera, and the camera for the beam rifle. Everything else, it's molded completely in. You get a ton of panel line detail. Everything else is molded in the correct colors. This is definitely one of the best high grades I've ever built. And it's only bested by the Moon Gundam, but the Moon Gundam was just ridiculously engineered to the point where it was just Bandai showing off. But this is where high grade should be at today, and it shows how far the high grade has come in just 5 years compared to the Build Fighter kits. This is an amazing looking Gunpla, and I just cannot emphasize that anymore. The articulation for the Narrative Gundam is pretty much what you would expect. You're going to get double jointed elbows, you're going to get a double jointed neck, beautiful double jointed knees, ankle movements, all the works. My only one minor complaint is the upper part of the chest is kind of wobbly. It's just a polycap connected to a peg and nothing else. So it's going to be doing like a head bob, but it's really the chest. I feel that Bandai could have done just maybe a little sturdier connection, but hey, I guess for looks, sometimes you gotta take a shot in articulation. Otherwise, this thing could get any pose that you can think of imaginable. This thing is easy poser, this thing could work well, and especially with the dynamic hands, you can get a lot of what you need. Oh wait, there are no dynamic hands, you just get weapon holding hands, so that's kind of a little bit frustrating, but I guess you gotta take your hits when you can in order to get the best product possible. In terms of accessories, you are going to get the very bare essentials from a Gunpla kit. First off, you're gonna get the beam rifle that it comes with. It's very reminiscent of the beam magnum that the Unicorn had, just designed differently because nothing can really hold up to that beam magnum. Even the silver bullet struggles, and it needs 4 arms just to be able to pull that off. It looks pretty well. You just need one little center sticker in order for it to look accurate. Can get any amount of posing that you can with it. Next up, you're going to be getting the shield that comes with it. This is completely different from the shield from the A-Packs. It is designed completely to be integrated with the Psycho Frame. It works pretty well. The underside is maybe a little underwhelming, but you can always paint that up. Again, it has like a little bit of a hinge system and a little bit of a twist and a swivel. And posing with the shield is so much fun. I couldn't help myself but keep posing with just the shield alone. And it's a really great accessory. The last accessory is a little bit special. Now, alright, well you just might be thinking to yourself, okay, beam sabers. We've been here 1,000 times before. But hold on a second. These beam sabers are made from the same frame and the same runner of the Psycho frame. That's right, it's made from the same plastic, so it's a little bit harder, and it has special holding hilts to it that you're going to need for exclusively the Narrative Gundam. And what I love about this is because of the type of plastic that it's made of. If you wanted to use this, say, as a beam effect part for the beam rifle, this is a perfect opportunity for it. Those beam saber effect parts really help to make the narrative stand out even more. And I just love the fact that it comes with a lot of versatility with it. That just bounces up its playability and accessory factor with me. The fact that one accessory can work on one or another. That is awesome. Honestly, I can't praise this fun factor of the Narrative C-Packs anymore. Personally, this is my favorite variant of the Narrative, and I'm so glad that when I saw that movie, I said to myself, screw the A and the B pack. I'm waiting for the C pack, and it shows. The A pack, it's cool, but it just takes up so much space. And the B pack, it's only an expansion set. You have no choice but to get the A pack anyway. C pack, it's its own standalone kit that really just pops out with posability, awesome accessories, and not boggled down by a gimmick or an accessory that you would have to pay P Bandai for. This, I feel, is, at least by now, because I do think somewhere in the future we are going to see a completed Narrative Gundam with none of the frame hanging out, but as it stands, this is the definitive Narrative Gundam, and I just highly suggest anyone who really just wants to pose with it, have it in his collection, and not get bogged down by a mobile armor or P Bandai regulations, this is where the fun factor is. It's awesome. My final thoughts on the C-Packs Narrative Gundam is it's one of the best high grades of 2019. It came in at a perfect time. It has a lot of great designs. It took an already good mold from the Narrative Gundam and spiced it up with a little bit of unicorn action. It has a lot of fun. You get versatility in its accessories. The posability on the Narrative Gundam, chest notwithstanding, can give any Bill Fighters or Tri-Fighters kit a run for its money. It can do any pose that you can think of. And when you get it on an action base, it just goes up even more. And really, I cannot sing its praises any more than I possibly can. Even if you don't have a lot of familiarity with the Universal Century timeline, get this kit. I don't care if you don't know too much about the lore of Universal Century. If you want a cool looking Gundam with cool accessories and great aesthetics, and just something that you want to pose up like a warrior, if you want something a little bit more of an action-oriented suit, this is the kit for you. I can't think of another high grade in 2019 so far that can match up to the Narrative Gundam C-Packs. This is it. This is 101 R. Smith, and I will see you later.